we'll just get started. So, first of all, don't mind how haggard I look, but sorry in advance that it's loud. Emmett is trying to go to sleep inside, and like this is a really busy street. So, can you guys hear me okay, or should I go get my AirPods? You can hear me? Okay. So let me know if I like get too quiet or if it gets too loud or whatever, and I can go grab my headphones to make it a little bit easier. But hi, I freaking miss you guys. Like I feel so disconnected with not having my phone for a freaking week. Like it is the worst thing ever. And I'll kind of talk about like everything that happened at a later date. But long story short, I lost my phone and my ID. And like just a bunch of random shit. Anyways, it's been such a pain, but my phone should be here no later than 8 p.m. tomorrow. So that will be exciting because I'm so freaking sick of not being able to text half of you guys. But luckily I was able to like find some of your numbers on eSuite and text you from my computer if you have an iPhone. So if you don't have an iPhone, I'm sorry, I will be able to get to you tomorrow. I know that both of you do, but people who are watching this on replay. And I want to change the view so like, okay, perfect. Now I can see both of you guys, not just myself. So that was really awkward. But okay, so I asked you to put something in the chat that either you're doing really well, that you're really excited about, or something that you are struggling with. And first and foremost, I want to talk to you guys about not all of the things. Again, I'll talk about some of it at a later date, but some of the things that I personally have been struggling with, and some things that I haven't been, okay, no, thank you. Not that I haven't been truthful about, but I just haven't really talked about because I don't want you guys to look at me any differently. I don't want you guys to look at this business any differently. I don't want you to look at anything any differently. But this last week, not having my phone and having to really just like take a second and just like be present, because obviously I didn't have a phone, right? And I have two-factor authentication on all of my accounts. So even when I try to log into stuff on my computer, which I normally could have done and like could have still been working like my personal business, I haven't been able to because it wants to text my phone a code, and obviously I don't have my phone. So again, it's been a total pain, but it has made me do a lot of like inner work and a lot of self-development and a lot of just like, again, being present and in the moment with my family and refocusing on my goals and my dreams, both for this business and just like in my life. Like Nat and I were talking the other day and she's like, hey, let's talk about something positive. Like, what are you working for right now? Like, what are your goals? You know, and I sat there for a second and was just like, okay, like I want to start a 401k. I want to start a Roth IRA. I want to go debt free. Like these are the things that I'm working for, right? I'm sorry. I thought Nat, you unmuted yourself. Or Clarissa, did you have something to say? Sorry if I muted you if you did.
What?
Oh, you were just unmuted. So I muted you back, but I was like, shoot, did she have something to say? I didn't want to cut you off. So
No, I'm sorry.
oh, okay. Anyways, yeah, I have. Now I lost my train of thought. Oh, anyways, so a lot of self-reflection, a lot of thinking about my goals, a lot of refocusing, a lot of like behind the scenes stuff, like rewriting posts and doing people's numbers and just looking at like life for a second. And I think we get so caught up in the day-to-day that it's really hard sometimes to just take a step back. And I even think about like when I was doing Sabbath days or whiteout days or whatever you want to call it, like, yes, I would slow down for sure, and I wasn't like going hard, but like I was still posting and I was still adding to my story and I was still like in the scroll hole and I was still talking with you guys. So yeah, like I wasn't sending new messages or growing my network necessarily, so for me that's a day off. But like I never like legitimately turned my phone off and took a day. Like drop a one if that's you. Like when was the last time, I seriously want to know, that you legitimately turned your phone off, you left it at home, and you spent 24 hours with your family? Because I can tell you it's been freaking years since I've done that, you guys. And there are a couple things. Yeah, sure. Go play with them. there are a couple things that I learned in this process. And I'm going to get back to like what I haven't told you guys and I'm going to come clean about. It's not anything bad. But here in a second, what? He'll fall asleep. Just relax. He's fine. He can cry for a sec. He'll live. No, don't you dare. Sorry, guys. No. Excuse you. I said no, right? You need to stay out here. Come get your toy. Go get your gun. Yeah, can't even think about when it was. So anyways, I wanted to tell you all the things that I learned this week and then come clean and then wrap it up with telling you guys how I'm going to move forward. So basically, some of the things that I learned was on my Sabbath day or on my whiteout day, I will be 150% unavailable. Unavailable for my family that's calling me, unavailable for team stuff, unavailable for my social, my personal business. Like I'm taking a day off because we have to rest to avoid burnout. And 3 years into this business, literally this week, I am learning that it's okay to take a day off. Your business is not going to fall apart because you took one day. It's when you didn't work that whole week and then you take a whole day off that, yes, it's going to impact you. Yes, it's going to impact your team. Yes, it's going to impact your paycheck, right? But if you've been working hard all week, give yourself a day. Like literally turn your phone off. So I don't know if you need to give yourself permission for that or you need me to give you permission for that, but you have the green light because I so needed this time. And I think the universe works in mysterious ways, God, whatever you want to call it. And I needed this week. And it really like opened my eyes to the bigger picture. Yes, I love what Fiona just said. She said, if you feel guilty for taking a day off, then you didn't earn it or work hard enough. And that's a you thing. Like that's on you, boo, because you didn't work hard throughout the whole week. And now you're taking a day off and you feel guilty about it. Well, you only feel guilty because you didn't do your work the whole week, right? So give it to yourself if you deserve it. But I will tell you, it will not kill you to work your business super hard, whether you're working a full-time job or not. Grind for 6 days and then completely take a day off of your phone. And honestly, having that even one day like break from social media, from, you know, like people in general and just like doing you for a day feels so good, you guys. Like I feel like the first time in my entire life I've been able to like breathe and I don't feel like I need to answer this person back or I need to do this, blah, 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 blah. Like I literally don't have a choice. All I can do is what I can do. All you can do is what you can do. So do what you can in that moment or in your week or whatever, and then allow yourself to rest. So that's the first thing that I learned. The second thing that I learned is that there are some things that I can improve to utilize my time better. Because with how much content I've been prepping and the things that I've been doing behind the scenes, I could have been doing this whole time and save myself millions of hours ahead of time. So is scheduling your days, scheduling what you're gonna give to your team to do if you have tasks for them, scheduling what you're going to put in your team chats, doing your charts, pre-writing your posts, making stories. Like, Oakland, honey, no thank you. Okay. Can you go play over there for a second? I'll be done in a few minutes, okay? No, thank you. So if you haven't started prepping content already, I highly, highly, highly suggest doing that. So what do I need to come clean about? Well, I seriously want to preface this with, this literally has nothing to do with the business, but everything to do with the business. Okay. I want to know if, well, a couple things. Number one, do you want It Works to eventually be your full-time income? I want you to first answer that, yes or no. Then I want you to answer, what are your goals with this business? And I'm not talking specific goals. I want to know what income goal you have with this business. And number three, it's not really a question, but more of a statement, I guess. Are you looking at this business like an entrepreneur, or are you still looking at it in a 9-to-5 mindset? And I'll tell you what I mean by that. So it is no secret and hasn't been a secret. And Clarissa, this is a little bit like new for you, so just stay with me till the end. But for Kiana and Nat and whoever's watching this on replay that's been a seasoned distributor with me, it has been no secret that we have not maintained rank. Okay. And I'm going to talk about this for a second because it is something that needs to be talked about. But then I'm going to tell you what mindset changed for me. Right. So I was looking at this. So I thought as an entrepreneur for a long time. Well, until this week, I realized that even up until this day, I've been looking at it from a 9-to-5 perspective. So when we lost rank back in, I want to say we promoted last May to double, maintained through July, I want to say. And then we easily maintained diamond as a team up until about 4 months ago. Okay. And 4 months ago, my accounts went from, first it went double and Connor was my diamond. And then when we lost rank and we dropped down to diamond, I was diamond, he was my emerald. And 4 months ago, as a team, collectively, we have dropped to ruby. I have been paid as a ruby and Connor as an exec for the last 4 months. And I'm so sick of it, you guys. Like, so sick of it. And the only reason that I'm telling you this, couple reasons. Number one, if my paycheck isn't where I want it to be, I can count on the fact that your paycheck isn't where you want it to be. Is your paycheck where you want it to be? Like, I seriously am asking you, are you comfortable with where you're at right now? Because if the answer is no, just like it is for me, then we have to change something. And what I realized was that it's not that I'm not doing the work. I've always been doing the work. I've never stopped doing the work for 3 years. But what changed was my mindset and what I got complacent with. And I got really freaking comfortable at double. And I know a lot of you got really freaking comfortable at ruby. And we stopped working as hard, right? And so what happened for me is when we moved to Texas, because of all these COVID things going on, you're going to hear Emmett cry for a sec, but I'm going to give him this 50. When COVID happened and all these different things have been going on, hey, you're okay. Basically, when you try to apply for a home loan right now, basically banks are looking at small businesses and self-employed people as null to none. Like, they're basically not counting your income right now. So when we moved to Texas and we're trying to get a pre-approval, this all was coming up. And what they also don't like when you're trying to apply for a home loan is when you're 100% commission based or your income fluctuates, right? Well, hello, like, I'm self-employed, COVID happened. I also want to not put this on you guys as and I hope that you're not taking this way. And I want you to know where my heart is when I say all of this, because I'm not pointing the finger at you guys. Like, oh, we should have worked harder. We should have done this. You should have done that, whatever. No. There's so much that happened in the last year, you guys, like COVID, impacted people tremendously. Connor lost his job. Like, there was a lot going on. I know you guys have dealt with a lot of life just in general. 3 of my top people on my top line, my 3 obviously biggest legs who were at the top on my charts, all 3 of them quit. And literally the next month, I lost my Facebook. So essentially this last year, I have been in my personal business starting from scratch. I've had to completely rebuild my Instagrams and my network. I've had to completely pull up people who are on the bottom of my charts. All of you guys are now at the top of my charts. And that's not a bad thing. But again, it showed me a couple of things. Number one, swim down. Like, we do not spend enough time on the people at the bottom. Like, how many of you only talk to the people who are on your chart? Like, we need to be looking at the people, yes, staying in contact with them as our key players, but all of the people at the bottom, the cream rises to the top. And all of you guys were at the bottom of my chart a year ago, and literally now we're on my triple diamond charts, right? Which means one of you is going double, one of you is going diamond, multiple diamonds, multiple rubies, multiple execs, right? And for so long, I thought that I was in this business for me and looking at my charts like what I needed to do. And when you look at your charts, I've finally realized, and it's clicked for me, that like you have to focus less on the rank, more on the income that you want, less on your personal paycheck and more on your team, right? Because if your team is making more money, you're making more money. But anyways, long story short, not really short, I had to get a 9 to 5. And I cringe even saying those words because I swore up and down that I would never go back to work. I would never go back to work when I stopped. You guys, I haven't worked a full-time job in literally almost 2.5 years. So when we got here, I got this stupid job and it's from home, right? Well, I've been like reprimanded left and right because I've been on my phone or not answering calls quick enough or whatever. And I'm trying to work my business, right? My personal business, manage a team, not manage, but lead a team, raise 2 kids under 3, and still be a wife and a person, like still be me, right? Do you need help? Okay, come here. Are you going inside? You need to be quiet because your brother's asleep. Anyways, so it made me cringe, but I quit my job today is kind of what I'm wrapping this all up to. Because over this last week, Oakland, no, come here. Get out here now. Your brother's asleep. You need to stay out here till I'm done. Go get your colors or your rocks. Yeah, go get the rocks. They're right here. I quit today because, well, let me backtrack. They reprimanded me. They were going to fire me. They ended up giving me another chance. And I was like, you know what? Screw this. Like, I am so done. Just let me go. So I quit today. And what it made me realize too is that like a year ago, I would have never even thought about getting a job, regardless of what my paycheck with It Works looked like, right? And when we're looking to buy a house, I thought it was the right thing to do, blah, blah, blah. Well, what happened is not only did I lose track of my goals with my business, but I just started to get like lazy and complacent all over again. Not just with my business, but just like life in general. And I learned that I am not made literally to work a 9 to 5. I wasn't built for it. And when I, again, wrapping this back up, when I asked you if you had a 9 to 5 mindset or an entrepreneur mindset, you have to be willing to eat shit for a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years to get where you want to be. It does not happen overnight. And do I have 150% faith in this team and that we will go double and triple? Yes. Do I think of it as maintaining rank or getting back to where we were? No, because that doesn't do anything for you. If you are looking at a rank like Ruby and you're like, I have to get back to rank, I need to make this much money, that is literally the reason why I fell and the reason why I went back to work. Because I had to make this X amount of money. No, you don't have to make X amount of money. You're making excuses for not hitting where you want to be in your business. Period. And Julia literally looked at me because I was FaceTiming her the other day about this. And she's like, a year ago, you would have literally laughed at me if I told you that I was getting a 9 to 5. She's my best friend. So like, it's okay for me to laugh about this. I wouldn't laugh at you. And you totally need to do whatever is right for your family. And I'm not telling you guys to quit your job, but my point is when you go back to being an employee instead of a CEO, it shifts your mindset. And this last week, and especially today, quitting my job, the reason I'm telling you guys all this is just because I want you to understand that if you think you need X amount of dollars to make this work for you, or you need to make X amount of dollars to quit your job, then get it done. then do the work. Then help your team go Ruby. I know that it's so much easier said than done, and there's so much more that goes into this. But seriously, because I quit my job, because I got out of that 9-to-5 headspace, and now I have a different perspective on what a CEO actually looks like, I guarantee you we will be a triple diamond team in the next 90 days. I guarantee you. Because I am looking at all of the people in this team, on the team page, in eSuite, who want this. And for the first time in 3 years, I have more than 3 people who want this as bad as I do. And you are going to find those people too, but it might take 3 years, just like it did for me. It might take 2 years. So stop underestimating what you can accomplish in the next decade and overestimating what you can accomplish right now. It's not going to happen overnight. You are not going to find your runners overnight. And you have to be that leader from the front. You have to be that person running your auto ship. You have to be that person completing your steps to success. You have to be that person doing your daily tasks and working on this. Because up here is truly where it matters. And I know that that sounds so stupid. And for the longest time, like I always knew that. I've always preached that. You guys have heard me say that a million times. But no, I want you to like actually take it to heart. Not just listen to the books. Not just do the journaling because you think that's what you need to do. No, you need to actually grow. And through this last month, I have grown more personally. And I feel like as a leader and as a wife, a mom, than I like literally ever have in my entire life. And I've had a lot of wake up calls this last month, but like truthfully, you guys, if you feel like you're in a spot where where you don't want to be in your business, only you can change that. Only you. Not me, not your team, nothing. And truthfully, like, do I kick myself for even getting that 9-to-5 job? Absolutely. But was it necessary to get me to a headspace to where I need to be to go triple? Yes. I've been pushing for triple for a year, you guys. And I know now, a year later, all of the reasons why I haven't gone triple, every single one. And so now I can change that. So you're in a growth period right now, just like I am. Like this team is in a growth period. I don't want you to think anymore about maintaining rank. I don't want you to think about getting back to rank. If your lifetime rank is Ruby, you're going diamond. If your lifetime rank is the 500s club or exec, you're going Ruby this month. And the only thing stopping you is you. The only thing stopping you is your distractions. And for me, that was drinking way too much and the stupid 9-to-5. And I'm done. I don't give a shit if a bank is not going to approve me. Then Connor can make more money at his job and we'll get a pre-approval. I don't know. We'll find a bank who does take it because Rochelle just went through the same thing. I know they're out there. You know what I'm saying? I need to, and we need to stop looking at the piece by piece and start looking at the big picture. Like, I feel like we've been focusing so much on just like getting back to where we were and getting back to a double diamond team and like X, Y, and Z. But what we need to be focusing on is all these diamond and above promotions. And where do you want to be at the end of the year? I mean, seriously, these are the questions that I've been asking myself over this time. And if you would have asked me 30 days ago what my answer is and what it is now, it's totally different. My answer 30 days ago would have been to get back to double diamond and hopefully hit triple. Seriously, that was where my head was at. And now, yes, I have a personal goal of going triple and above, but my goal at the end of this year, and I said it before, and not that I didn't mean it, but I feel it in my heart now, is I want to promote at least 10 people on this team to diamond or above by the end of the year. And if that happens, we're going on I'm paying for the Airbnb. All you got to do is get your flight there, a diamond and above retreat. Like, that is my goal. Like, screw a triple. I could care less. As much as I love that, it doesn't set my soul on fire. What sets my soul on fire is promoting 10 people to a full-time income, bringing you home to your babies, getting you that dream house, getting you that new car, whatever it is, bringing that full-time income in and going on a damn trip with my girls. That sets my soul on fire. Triple doesn't. And I've been focusing for so much. And if I'm focusing on the wrong things, I know you guys have been too. And that's the only reason why I'm preaching this so hard is like, we have to stop focusing on us. We have to start focusing on what it means for our team when we go diamond. When you go diamond, that means someone is going emerald and someone's going ruby. Some people make as much as an emerald working 40 hours a week. Like minimum wage in Texas is $8 an hour. Like straight up. And yes, the cost of living is extremely, like literally half the price as it is. But that's like making $12, $11 at home. Like that's minimum wage. You know what I mean? That's emerald pay, literally. So I don't know what you got out of this or if this was helpful at all, but I just want to be again like overly, oh no, thank you. That's very sharp. Let go. Overly vulnerable, sorry, there was a fire. Overly vulnerable, overly honest, and just telling you guys what I'm going through. Because when I keep things, oh, sorry. Can you hear me now? Okay. But when you keep things or when I keep things like from the team, it does nothing but make it look like you want it to be just this perfect picture all the time. And the reality is that we're not going to maintain rank or be promoting every single month. And it is 150% normal to lose rank. It's 150% normal and human of you to think that your only solution is going back to work. But there, I promise you, is a sliver of a person in you that doesn't want that doesn't want to have to settle just because you feel like that's your only way out. That's how an employee thinks. And so we have to now like put our CEO hat back on and own our shit. What are you working towards? What are you helping your team gain? So anyways, that was like one of the biggest things that I wanted to talk about. But going forward, right? Like that, my goal and what I'm focused on is that 10 people who want to go diamond with me this year and go on that trip with me. That's my focus. And making sure that I'm focusing on my mindset, making sure that I am taking a day off with my phone away, like literally to where I can't touch it. Like there was the day before I lost my phone, Connor literally was like, give me your phone. And 2 years ago, I would have literally killed him and ripped it out of his hands. But I was like, okay. He's like, I want to spend time with you. Like, I need you too. Okay. Like, can you pay attention to me? And he had my phone like the whole dinner and it was freaking amazing. So take the time for you, whatever that means, and swim down, y'all. Like whoever shows even the sliverest of excitement needs to be brought to my attention and needs to be at the forefront of your attention. And that needs to be our focus as a team, is the people who are excited, getting them promoted, because your promotion will come so naturally if we do that. So that's how I'm moving forward. I'm really excited to get my phone back, but I feel like I have at least like just such a better attitude, and I know where I'm headed now. And there's not this like, should I go back to work thing? Like, no, now I did it. I went back to work and it was fucking terrible. Excuse my French, but seriously. And I swear over my dead body, will I ever go back again, regardless of what my income is? I'll make it work. I'll freaking babysit. Like, I don't know, but I'm not going back to work. And I am focusing wholeheartedly on this business because, and I think actually, Kiana, you said this one time, and I don't know why, but it stuck with me, where you were like, you can't be on the top of the fence and have 1 foot in, 1 foot out, right? And you can't give 100% in your business if your brain, if your mind isn't 100% in it. And I don't know about y'all, but when I'm working another job, again, I'm not telling you to quit your job, but what I'm telling you is when I work another job, my mind is not in this business. It's not. It's half in, half out. And it shows, right? And even not when I'm just working a business, but when I'm working another job, but the distractions. Like we need to really learn what our distractions are and work on them. So again, I don't know if this is like helping you guys, but I just wanted to like kind of share where I'm at, share what's been going on with me, share where my head's at, and just let you know that I am human, and you know, I appreciate you guys giving me grace for all of this and allowing me this week while my phone has been gone to just like chill and I just appreciate you guys still working hard, because at the end of the day, the best piece about this business is that it is residual income. And like I put, or I'm gonna post this on the team page later too, but in the last 12 days, mind you, my phone has been lost for like a week. We have brought in over 1,500 group volume. If we did that again, if we had every single person who's working right now on this team sign 1 to 2 customers, we would have at least 2 new rubies pop this month, which means a new emerald, which means a new diamond. So a diamond, an emerald, and 2 rubies, multiple execs in 500s club this month, if we do this next week what we did the last 10 days. Or if every single person signs 1 to 2 customers that's working on this team. That's not hard. You just have to do it. So do you guys have any questions or like anything that you want to share or something that you've been going through that like, because this is recorded. So if anyone wants to pop in. If not, that's okay too. But. All right, well then I'm going to stop the recording.